Okay, namaste, great souls. Wonderful always to be here and practice together. It means a lot to come together as community. And this week, I'm wearing blue. That's the color of the throat chakra. And it's called in Sanskrit Vishuddha. And of course, it's about communication, clear communication. I'll say other things about it as we practice, but it's not only this area of the neck and the throat, it's also the mouth and the ears and our ability to speak and our ability to listen. So that's also, as we know, so important. And I think a lot of people just think it's the throat, but think of the ears. Think of listening, think of hearing, taking those pauses. So we will talk about it as we experience our throat chakra awareness and communication. And it's also very much connected to creativity, which is our second chakra too. They're all interlinked, and we want that interlinked energy going on, the connection of the chakras. Oh, and the age stage is 7 to 12, pre-adolescent, around communication. Of course, all these stages go throughout our lives, but and specific developmental processes in psychology. So I will do my communication piece and just be a little bit more quiet as I step back for the experience of our breath work. And okay, so sitting comfortably, and I'm going to come a little bit closer to demo. It may have been a little while since we've done this interlocking of the fingers underneath the chin. And when you're ready, first we're going to just exhale through the mouth. And then inhale through the nose. We're going to frame the sides of the cheeks here. Gently arc back with the head. Don't overdo. And then exhale. Draw the forearms together and draw the elbows toward the navel. It's a rounded spine when we come forward. And we'll come back to our center. Inhale. Find your pace, look up gently, exhale, bring the forearms toward one another and round as much as you feel comfortable, letting go. And back to center, inhale, framing, looking up, exhale. It is a theme at the end of the year, reflecting on what we want to let go of, what hasn't been working for us, and what we don't want to take into the new year as you inhale and then exhale. Let's do one more of these. Pranayam. Exhale. Wrist touch. Forms may or may not touch. They draw toward one another. And then we come back to the center, lengthening through the crown, drawing the sit bones down, and then bringing the other foot in front. We'll get into a vinyasa flow here in a moment. But of course, that neck release, draw your right ear towards your right shoulder. If you want more extension, extend out through that left arm. You may want to, like my right elbow bent. You may want to place it on the side of your head. So that is activating more. You decide what works for you to open, again, not only the neck, but the ear. So we're feeling more openness in the left ear, left side of the neck, our listening, lengthening and growing. And before we go the other side, just feel that left side more spacious, more open. Full yogic breathing, belly expands, allowing space in the heart, compassion, lengthening up, wisdom, universal consciousness, and love. It's all connecting our chakras as we bring our left ear toward our shoulder, extending to the right side of the neck. Maybe bringing your hand and extending more. Listen to the sound of the breath, the oceanic sound of the breath. We'll do bumblebee breath later. But here we're tuning into the Ujjayi sound, the ocean sound. And lengthening through the crown. Feel the right side of the neck, the ability in our listening and hearing to pause. Clear communication as much as we can, especially always, but especially at this time of year when we're perhaps getting together with family and friends, people we may not have seen for a while. And then hearing their experiences as well. Okay, one last one before we go into full body. Hands at the back of the neck. Inhale, lift up. And then exhale, a little different. We're stretching our arms up. And then ease those shoulders down. Feel the space all around you. Clearing the space out. Add a twist. Bringing the right hand toward the left knee. Left hand behind you. Exhale. Navel to the spine. Inhale, ease. Exhale, twist. Inhale, ease. Again, now as we're letting go on the twist, we also want to think of, as we expand the heart, where the gratitude is, the appreciation, and what we want to bring into our new year. Perhaps the things that worked in our last year or something fresh. Bring the left hand to the knee, twist. Ease. What do we want to, what we appreciate, what we're grateful for. And we certainly most likely want to take that into our new year, and it could be something different or something that's working. Hands in namaste, bowing to the wisdom of the heart, letting it lead the way. And as we're moving into a vinyasa flow, solstice energy, Christmas energy, Christ conscious energy. So have your blanket, if you'd like, for your knees. Really always important to work core strengthening throughout our practice. So let's get those wrists underneath the shoulders and extend the right leg. Now the key here, one of the keys, is to draw the navel toward the spine. And when we lift that right leg, left arm, it's parallel to the floor. So it's not turning out to the side. Okay. So we inhale. We feel the core strength, the opposites. And then we exhale and we set it up and switch. So extending the opposite arm, right arm, left leg, peel the toes back, draw the navel towards the spine, just hugging those ribs towards you. And release. We'll do this a couple more times. Opposites. Left arm, right legs, feel the core, feel the extension. Hear the sound of the breath. And down. You can stay here a couple breaths. It doesn't have to be one breath. Set it up and feel the extension. So the color's blue. The element is light and ether. And how great for this time of the year as we're expanding more into the light. Scooping out, classic cat, looking up, exhale, rounded spine. Chin tucks to the hollow of the throat. Inhale. And exhale. Really hear the sound of the breath. Now, neutral spine, we're going to pour back into our downward facing dog gradually. hovering off of the knees and radiating the heart, magnetizing toward the thighs. I'm pulsing gently, bending one knee, then the opposite, and continuing that diagonal stretch. You see what works for you. As you invite calmness, peace radiate through every cell of my body, every fiber of my being. Stabilize. Maybe small circles with the head, or go side to side. See what your neck likes. Not only the front of the throat, it's the back of the neck, sides, even into the shoulders and ears, mouth. And bending one knee, stepping one foot forward, then the opposite, resting in our forward fold. Wherever you'd like here with the hands. The main thing is to relax and cast aside unnecessary mental burdens, worries, anxieties, fears, doubts. Let the earth energy take them. Maybe a bigger exhale, sigh as we release out. And then heart lifts, arms reach back. Prep for chair as we sweep up and pulse. And then sweep the arms back, pulse. And sweep the arms up, pulse. And then rise up, reaching up, extending the arms overhead, and then feeling the space all around you, as well as within you. And see, do your hands, you want to go to the heart and gently touch the throat, to your solar plexus, throat, connecting which chakra. They're all connected, of course, but where would you classically, where the creativity and the communication, they all go hand in hand, the love, the expression of that, safety, security. Just feel where you would like to tune in with that warmth of the hand, with the touch, as we, of course, continuing to yoga breathe. Okay, let me just check the computer and see if anyone's trying to log in. Okay, we're good. Let's bring the hands into Namaste, and we'll go, and we're going to keep flowing in our vinyasa with emphasis on, of course, throat and core. So bringing to mind those people you would love to send light energy to, the color of light, the quality of ether, spaciousness. Visualize them. And we're affirming I am a clear communicator and I'm a good listener. Okay. Both of those qualities are playing hand in hand as we tap into the spiritual eye. I'll come to the mat. Tap into the crown. Inhale, reach up and back bend. Don't jam into your low back. Lift through the heart, root through the feet. Open through the throat. Inhale, swan dive forward. Take your time as we come into our forward fold, navel to the spine. Inhale. Elongate the spine, and now we step back into our plank. You can always have an option of a knee down plank. But every time we do a plank, we're building core strength. And we can even add more core strength, and you'll see, by lifting the right foot and then tapping down. We'll do this 4 times total. Inhale. Exhale through the mouth. 2 more. Inhale. Exhale. Hear that sound. Feel the strength. Inhale. By pulsing, we add much more dynamic strength there. Now let the knees touch down before we go the other side. We'll take a pause in puppy. So knees lined up with the hips, stretching. Maybe hairline touches, maybe it doesn't. Seat of intuition of the spiritual eye. Really connect the sound and you're listening through the ears. Feel how neck, throat, ears, mouth, everything connected, especially this area we're focusing on. All right, back to our plank. You could always come onto forearm plank or knee down plank. Draw the navel to the spine. I'm going to walk that right foot in just an inch. Lift the left leg and tap down. Left leg lifts and tap. 2 more. Pulse it up. Tap down. 1 more. Pulse and down. Okay. Knees touch. Chest, chin, unfurl the toes. Fingertips face in. Lift the heart. Get that circulation in the scapula. So all back bends are, of course, strengthening and throat rechargers. So we'll take it into 3 cobras. First was called baby cobra. Elbows in, tops of the feet strong. We're going to inhale, pulse up, recharging, and ease. So we want to feel a little squeeze between the scapula. Legs are strong. Inhale, pulsing up, rising up to meet the opportunities of this day joyfully. And we're letting our wings of joy soar upwards. You can lift the feet and then rest at the spiritual eye. Large toes touch and melt. Really focus on the yogic breathing and the sound, texture and rhythm. You can affirm, I am a clear communicator, or if that's, you're working toward that, you could say, I'm working toward more clear communication. I am a good listener. I'm working toward listening fully. So we're going to rise up in our Bhujangasana, our cobra pose with the lion's breath, which we know is so clearing the gunk out of taming our tongue, the things that aren't appropriate to say. That's an aspect, of course, of the throat chakra. We're not just spilling everything out. We're using discretion and discrimination as we inhale. Pulse up, shoulders down, knees off the ground perhaps. Lion's breath. Stick out the tongue, eye gaze out. That's it. You want to balance the throat chakra. We come back and the knees underneath the hips and we hover off of the knees and we take our time here, navel to the spine, as we come back into our down dog. Pulsing back or stabilizing, pressing into the base of the fingers. Just ride those oceanic waves most audible in the throat, but vagal nerve is the full yogic breath is activating the vagal nerve that's pouring through all the major organs of the body for balance. There's a lot of science and research on that. Look it up. The yogis always knew this. And then we step 1 foot forward, but science is, of course, catching it and activating our release of any unnecessary mental burdens. You can even shake out the head to symbolize that. Letting go, the skill. Bend the knees. Find your chair pose again. We're going to sweep one arm back, the other forward. Pulse it if that helps. Helps me. And one time more each way. And now both arms come up. Come into the front of your mat. Feeling the space all around you as well as within you. As you take your time, maybe one hand on the belly, solar plexus, throat area gently. Sending peace, love, care to others. Visualize them at the spiritual eye. Okay. And we'll keep flowing. Very good. So this one, just as we center and breathe, another tool of balance, which we talked about at the second chakra, was a wonderful concept of going on an artist date, taking yourself to a museum or with a friend, some kind of movie or some, some creative endeavor. It's wonderful to get that creativity and connection from second and fifth chakra. Okay, we're going to now step the right foot back. So we step the right foot back into our Virabhadrasana 1. My mat here. Square the hips. So the left hip back, the right hip forward. If you have low back issues, it's better to bend the knees to let that ease off of that lumbar spine. And we're going to do our sweeps just like we did. First, we're going to do our classic, I attune my will to the source of all power. And at home, you can always use light weights here. Bone strengthening, super important. And then we add our arm sweeps. So I'm going to bend the knee. I'm going to sweep back the right arm. And I'm going to look over that right shoulder. And I'm going to come back to center. It's a bit of a balance. And then sweeping that left arm back, looking over the left shoulder. One more time. Inhale. Sweep back. If it's too much to look over that shoulder, look at forward. Come forward. And then left arm. I attune my will to the source of all power. And then we reach up and we come down on top of that knee and do our deeper lunge work. So we get into the hips more, step that leg back, come on top of that right knee, shimmy, shake the hips. The hips love this. I try to do this every class, every day. Hear that letting go sound. Okay, we'll keep flowing. Turning the right toes under, coming off of that knee, stepping back to our plank. Now this is a little different. This is very strong. We're going to do side plank. And so what that looks like is our left forearm comes down, one foot's in front of the others. You can stack if you want, but lift up through the right hip, stretch the right arm up. Not gonna be here too long. We're gonna thread that right arm under and then inhale back up. This is strengthening every muscle and the core. It's strong, it's meant to be strong. Okay, we come down. And we just did 2. We could build up to 3 or 4, but let's just take that in. Take that in and rest. Melt down. Breathe in, breathe out. What do I want to bring into my year? Appreciation, gratitude. What would I like to let go? This is an inquiry. It's a process. You don't have to land it now. Okay, we're going to rise up into Bhujangasana. Hands by the sides of the shoulders. Inhale, legs strong. Rising up, opening to our wings of joy and our lion's breath. And the knees touch down. Before going to that whole flow to the other side, I'm going to walk our knees in and just thread it through to release our back and strengthen our core. So we're walking our knees in, we're turning to the side, we're planting the feet down, we're easing down, tucking the tailbone under, shimmy, shaking down. And again, core strengthening. Arms reach up at 90 degrees. Really important, knees to hips, 90 degrees. Peel the toes back. So again, our opposites, plug in the low back. Right arm, left heel touches. Keep the low back plugged in. Inhale back to center. Left arm, right heel. Inhale back to center. If you want more intensity, the next 2 cycles, you extend that lever of the leg. So the left leg would extend, but keep the low back plugged in as you come back to center. And then the left arm, right leg. And back to center. You can do one more round. Keep the knees bent or the legs straight. Either way. Helping the brain. Helping the core. And then drawing, oh, Tigger's here. Drawing the knees in and giving yourself a lot of love and compassion. Thank you, body. Thanks for showing up. That's a big part of it, is showing up. And then once we show up, and then continuing the practice. So 3 circles in each direction. Okay, we're gonna rock and roll or roll to the side if this doesn't work on your spine. Coming up and folding forward. This time you may want to Padahasta Asana, bring the palms of the hands underneath the soles of the feet, bending the elbows. But continuing to release unnecessary mental burdens, anxieties, fears, worries, energy clearing, so important. So important. And we're rebalancing every time we practice. Or breathe consciously, sweeping up. Tools to balance all the chakras, but especially the throat chakra. And before we go the other side, as promised, let's just tune into our bumblebee breath. We're just going to make that sound on the exhale. One hand on the throat, the other on the heart. Inhale. Tone can change, that's fine. Let's do that again. Really feel that vibrational energy from within every time. It's a big part of the throat chakra, singing, chanting, mantra, sound in a way that's, the chanting's been spiritualized by thousands of being over thousands of years. It has a lot of power, and sound has a lot of power. Of course, music, that's another part of our throat chakra. It will change the mood. We know that. I'm gonna have a sip of water. And we, can have that on our playlist when we're feeling low moods coming in. We want to shift the energy, put on our favorite song. It really does help. And sing to it. Let yourself learn or know that not only the chorus, but the words that go along with it. Okay, so ready for our other side here, lengthening up in mountain pose, bringing those prayers of care to others as we bend the knees and step the left foot back. In our warrior one, Virabhadrasana one, tracking that knee over the ankle. You can choose to have the left foot out to the side or come off the heel, slightly bend the knee. There's a bit more balance there. And we come in. And we open up. I attune my will to the source of all power. I attune my will to the source of all power. And then we add that sweeping arm flow. So we're going to sweep the arms back, look over the right shoulder, maybe, and come back to center. Sweep the left arm back, look over the left shoulder, open the toes, and back. Just one more flow. Sweeping back, and forward, and the other direction. A gentle core twist, and forward. And then we take it deeper, so we come off of that back heel. If you're not already, come on top of that left knee, shimmy shake, hips, as we ease from side to side. As we know, the yoga poses are named after a lot of the animals, and we have our wonderful tiger here joining us. It's fine. Yeah, it's fine. It's good. Yeah. It's great to have you so far. All right. And we're going to now do our step back into our side plank, which is meant to be strong. So we're going to take that right foot back. Now the setup, I went into it pretty quickly last time. You could turn your toes out to the side, or you can stack. Oh, I forgot. So reset. Okay, now we're going to bring our forearm down and we're going to turn to the side. It's a little, if this is too much, you could also do something else. Lift it up. Okay, now he's, yeah, lifting up and then threading through. Lifting up and threading through. One more time, and then we ease on down. Ease on down, back to our belly, stacking one hand on top of the other, and resting again. Full yogic breathing, belly, heart, crown. Know that it's really balancing all the internal organs when we belly, full yogic breathe. All right. Okay, and then we'll rise up in our cobra. Lots of throat cleansers today. Lion's breath. 2 or 3 times. And then we come back to our rounded cat. Inhale, scooping out. And then see if you want to do a regular down dog or a forearm down dog. If you're doing forearm down dog, measure by lightly touching the elbows and then bringing those forearms down. Keep magnetizing the heart toward the thighs. Allowing peace to radiate through every cell of my body, every fiber of my being. Now, when I transition, I like to bring the knees down first and then lift off. Some people just lift off the tips of the elbows as we transition. If you were doing forearm down dog, to our forward fold again, Uttanasana. Letting go. And recharging. We're combining, as you know, the strength, the flexibility, the letting go, the recharging. It's all happening as we pulse and rise. And let's bring our arms to the side and flow. Now bring our affirmation. I am a good listener. I'm working toward being a better listener. And I am a clear communicator. I'm working toward clear communication. Okay, let's do a balance pose. Honoring the so important to do balance every day. I was saying the tree pose. So we're going to root down through the left foot. And really root down and then lift that right leg up. Oh, I forgot my block. It's probably better to see you this way if I demo this way. Okay, bring the block here. Look at a point on the floor out in front of you. This is a balance right here, or we could take it into the inner thigh. And perhaps those branches of the tree are rising up. We were talking with, in Northern California, the rain that's wonderfully been happening. And even though, you know, of course, there's a dormant part of the year for going inward, classically winter, but there's also growth on vegetation in the hills, green, which is beautiful. So I'm calm, I am poised, even if you're wobbling. Feeling that rootedness and the expansion simultaneously, drawing that knee in and stepping it down, swirling. Tai Chi, bending the knees, that rooting from the root chakra down. As we go to the other side, planting that right foot down, looking at a point in front of you. Maybe put your foot lightly on the block because you're still balancing through the right leg. And then see, one side will be different than the other. We know that, different qualities. It's solar, lunar. As our tree pose or any balance pose you like. Sense of grounding, connection to the earth, and expansion of the branches to the sun, to the light. Expanding into the light now, that balance of light and darkness, the solstice, and then moving just ever more. A little bit more every day toward the light. I'm calm, I am poised. And we've developed that witness observer, like the trees. witnessing, observing, and that aliveness. The hands come together, lifting the knee up and stepping down and circling that energy of light and all throughout your body, within you, and all around you. All right, taking another sip of water. So we always have to bring in the shadow side to each chakra. So the shadow is any lies, because we want to speak our truth in our clear communication, but any lies that we may be telling ourselves, those are a little hard to catch, but being aware of that, others, and any, family secrets, stuff going on. I'm not gonna say what to do about all that in this class, but just being aware if that shadow side's coming up. And that would be the shadow of the throat chakra. And we want to be able to be honest with ourselves and know that's happening, if it's happening. Okay, so we will do one more. I was almost going to come to the ground, but we'll do one more side stretch series standing before we come to the ground. Real simple. We do it a lot, or I teach it a lot, is the triangle pose. We get that wonderful side stretch in here. You can either put the block on the instep or the little toe side of the foot. And we're gonna expand the heart, strengthen the legs, really reach over with that left arm, sliding the hand. You could just lightly have it on the shin. I really like to block without collapsing onto it, stacking those shoulders, add the mudra, thumb and index finger together, head to tail connected, as we expand into energy and joy. Fill my body cells, reaching over perhaps in Utthita. Energy and joy. Fill my body cells. We're going to get that forward bends, back bends, side stretches, core work. Chakras intercommunicating with one another. And then we bend the left knee to come up. The dancer, Virabhadrasana 2, really track that knee over the second toe and then reach up. I gaze up. And then shifting to the other side. Before we shift though, we'll bring our blanket over. We'll do our goddess pose with the toes apart, the knees bent. Now, if you want more intensity in the core with goddess, you reach forward with your arms up and then out in front of you. 3 pulses there. Rise up. Okay, so when you just add that forward movement, that's going to add intensity if you choose. Triangle to the other side. Set it up for success. As we expand the heart chakra is the front, back, and sides, all the way through the arms, all the way through the fingertips. It's like the throat chakra, it's just not right here. It's the neck, the ears, tops of the shoulders, reaching over the Shuddha. And coming into our side stretch extension, Trikonasana. Energy and joy, fill my body cells. Energy and joy, fill my body cells. See if you want to go into Utthita, which is the extension and circling, or if you want to keep it to the classic. Either way, we're opening to the joy and the energy of joy. And we always want to look for the joy, feel the joy, expand into that joy, savor those moments of joy, create meaning for the joy. The cat was just here. unconditional love. Every time I see the cat, I'm bringing the meaning of unconditional love in, so we could bring meaning into the joy. Okay, and then we bend the right knee. And there's some really great Stanford science studies on joy. Kelly McGonigal, if you want to look up her work. Stretching the arm up and reaching over. Studying joy, how cool is that? For a thesis, PhD. Pulsing, pulsing, pulsing. Bending the knee more if you want more of that core strength dynamic. And then turning the toes in. I just move the block out. We can either have the hands on the hips or expand the heart energy into Prasarita Padottanasana, forward fold with the legs extended. Knuckles up toward the sky, crown of the head toward the earth. Hear the oceanic sound. And then bring the hands on the sides of the hips, slide the hands down, lift the heart up, and into that star pose. Expanding that love and energy to you as we step our feet together. And now we will gradually come down. All right, so we're here. We're gonna just bend, and I'm gonna go wider with the feet to the outer corners of the mat, and be careful of the knees, into our Malasana. Toes are turning out as you come into Malasana. You can ease side to side or stay stable. We know this is so good for our digestion. So speaking our truth, and then the opposite is taming our tongue, restricting, and just being aware. And also, I didn't mention practicing silence. I mean, many of us don't have 10 days to do a silent retreat, but we could have moments of silence where we're conscious of being silent. It's more of it's a practice. It's not just like vicariously happening or intentionalizing our moments of silence and going within. And it's a beautiful practice to do. So practicing silence, and with that may come journaling or writing, again, that creative expression. This is all Bushida tools to balance the throat chakra. So speaking our truth, and then our silence, the yin and the yang of it all. As we come down, we're going to do bridge and fish. So we're going to tuck the tailbone down, melt down, low, mid, upper back. Bend those knees in again. Thank you, body, for showing up and all you can do. So easy to criticize and judge the body. We want to actually bring up love and compassion. And that is a practice as we draw and circle the knees around. So we're going to add one more core strengthener. So we did these, right? And then the side plank, and then adding, and a lot of the yoga poses are adding the core strength as we go along. This one's a little more intense, I find. So keep those inner borders of the feet together. Plug in the low back, and just bring your legs over to the right as much as they can go. Exhale through the mouth strong. Inhale back to center. Pulse up, so we're going to lift up and down. Think of reaching through the balls of the feet. So you do this several times. I'm just giving you a taste of this, bringing the legs over to the left. Long exhales. Excellent. Pulse up and down. And up and down. And at home, if you want to do several more rounds, just bring that in. We're going to go into bridge series, Setu Bandhasana. Let's take our block. If you'd like to do some bridge walking, or you could do the classic bridge, to you. Toes turned in, heels hip width apart. We're going to plug in the spine first and lift the hips up. Magnetize those inner thighs. The block can be low or it can be higher. And you have to, I lift the heels if I'm going higher to get that right on the sacrum. Okay. And then I'm still working through my legs, so not just collapsing onto the block. Deep throat chakra opener. I don't want you to talk in this. Chin is tucking to the hollow of the throat. Now we're going to do some bridge walks. Really release the back of the neck, ears, shoulders. So the left toes turn out. We bend that right knee. We extend and reach through. Slow bridge walk, knee to knee. Bending the knee, right toes turn out. When you're ready, at your pace. Left knee, left leg extends. And reach through. So all the chakras opening, but especially the throat. And affirming that we can attune to divine grace, divine will. We open to it. We ask for that assistance, that guidance in a general way, in a universal way, like I just did, or through a specific deity, if that speaks to you. Bridge walking. Let's do one more. Knee bends and really feel that extension. The bending of the, you get a sense where that knee to knee is. Get a felt sense of that. Ujjayi breathing as you're doing the whole practice and off the mat as well. Now here we go. I'm going to lift the heels to belt down. You may need to do that or not, depending what's going on with your body. Really melt down each part of the spine. And depending on your back, you may want to hug in for a moment, or you may want to just take that into butterfly and either bring, I'm sensing the hands on the belly, and I don't know how to, shoulders away from the ears. Okay, getting set up for Matsyendrasana, the fish pose. Slowly bring your thighs toward together. Remember that tension release, that trauma release. We want to shake it out here. Big exhales. Do this about 30 seconds longer on your own, pace and timing. Folding those knees in. And getting ready by extending the leg. I'm bringing the forearms, I'm rocking to the side. Get the forearms underneath me, palms down. And we're going to press through the forearms and arc the spine, come onto the back of the head. And another chakra, and especially throat chakra opener. Inhale, come back, and breathing.
When you're ready, we're going to press through the forearms and slightly enough to glaze the back of the head onto the ground. Bend one knee and then release the arms. Definitely hug those knees in now. And maybe even wider toward the shoulders. And maybe even wider into happy baby. As we rock side to side and got that inner smile. I know some of us on the call have babies in our lives. What a blessing that is. So we just, or any of the blessing, you know, just that wonderful, joyful reflection of where the gratitude is, or the appreciation as we have it as a practice anyway, but especially it's natural to reflect at the end of the year here. And let's finish off with our windshield wiper twist. So feet are on the edges of the mat. The arms are out to our side, heart deep, heart opening. And let the knees drop down to the right. And when you're ready, that left arm sweeps up and over. And we affirm divine life is within me and all around me. Divine life is within me and all around me. And we want to tune in to and listen to nature and music and each other, and that opening up the feeling of divine life. We're saying it, we're affirming it, but then also feeling it. So feet hip width apart, readjust any way you like. And then the knees go over, of course, to the other side. And when you're ready, that right arm floats up and over. You could go inward. I don't know if you're saying the affirmations outward or inward. You could go inward and affirm divine life is within me and all around me. Oh, heart expansion. Engage the core. Knees come up, reset the spine. Okay, fold those knees in again. And then determine, and let's just kind of shake it out here, legs, arms, keep the shoulders plugged in, of what's going to feel the best for your Shavasana, for restoration. As we're in this pose for at least 5 minutes, maybe 5 to 7, so the whole body integrates the flow, the meridians that we've opened for deep restoration and healing. So, you know, some of the options, butterfly, if there's no low back issues, if there is low back issues, I recommend some support, a ball, a couch, or perhaps the legs up the wall, bolster on the back of the spine. You know what's going to work for your body as we take our time to get cozy, maybe get a blanket, water, eye bag, see what works for you. I forgot to mention that the throat chakra, Rishita, there's a purification level to it. There's a cleansing that goes on when we reflect in our communication and clearing. So really going into that purification now. It'll guide us through. All right. All right.
When you're ready, if you're settled in, you hear that oceanic sound of your breath and the Om sound. That Om sound is vibrating inwardly and vibrating outwardly. And we will return to Bumblebee, but first I'm just going to have you go from the top down and bring in that healing light and energy through the crown. Again, soften where you can, the eyes, the jaw. Tune into sensations inside the mouth. It's all part of the throat chakra. The root of the tongue, the tip of the tongue, the teeth, the gums. Maybe gently place the tip of the tongue behind the top teeth. And you'll feel how that opens the back of the throat more completely. You want to feel that right ear canal opening, valley and folds of that right ear opening to listening, hearing, connected to the neck and the throat and the mouth. And shifting attention to the left ear, the valley and folds of the left ear and the canals there. You feel the connection to the neck, the throat and mouth on the left side, especially. See how it can soften the shoulders and feel that radiant sensation streamlining down both arms, left and right. Pulsation, sensation in the palms of the hands, digits of the fingers and thumbs. And then breathing and feeling that spaciousness, perhaps warmth in the heart, connected to the throat. And we'll do about 3 bumblebee breaths. When you're ready. Hands could be over the heart or gently touching the throat. We'll make that sound on the exhale. So we'll inhale together. And then exhale. It's natural for the tone to change. One more. Bumblebee breath. Of course, you can continue with the bumblebee breath or just continue with the guided relaxation, relaxing the belly, the ribs, the low back. Let the earth support you deeply, whatever your back is resting on. You're melting into it. Letting the thighs soften, knees, the calves, the ankles, soles of the feet, digits of the toes, tops of the feet. Relaxed and aware. Already whole, already free, already aware. So we're turning back to that primary awareness, that wholeness, peace. It's in everyone and everything. And you're welcome to stay in Shavasana longer, or you're welcome to gently return by wiggling your fingers and toes. Maybe resting on your side in the fetal pose, just thanking yourself for showing up today and giving yourself this gift of restoration and deep both integration, energization, and relaxation. All these qualities are happening in inner practice together and within yourself. And we're going to visualize those others we'd like to send healing energy to. We do that mentally as we move through our flow, but now we're bringing our heart and our hands together to generate some heat, and we're sending that love, light, and energy to specific people, to the planet, to parts of the country, wherever you'd like to send the healing energy to. Just inhale the Om sound, the 3-syllable Om sound. And bringing the hands in Namaste, acknowledging that light, that love, that wisdom that resides in everyone and everything, and bowing to the wisdom of your own heart as you let it lead the way. into this day and this amazing Christ consciousness weekend, Christmas weekend. We should send in so much light, love, and joy to everyone. And now I will stop the recording, and those who want to continue to check in can. So let me just take a moment here.